Okay, in just a few moments from now, our viewers will find out whether ORG is projecting that the left will cross the mark of 100 or not. But I now want to come to the next set of questions, and that will really indicate why the left front is slipping. Let's come to the question of how people rate Buddhadeb's performance as Chief Minister. He took over from Jyoti Basu. If you look at the number of people who think he's either poor or very poor, that's about 40%, and that's very significant that 40% of the people think he's either poor or very poor. 27% think he's average, and only 30% think he's either good or very good. So about 67% of the people think he's either average or poor or very poor. That's the first question. The next question: if the left front were to come back to power, would you like to see Buddhadeb as the next Chief Minister, or would you like the left to bring in a new face? That's the important question. 56% of the people who were polled said they would actually like to see a new face. They would not like to see Buddhadeb. Only 21% seem to prefer Buddhadeb, and this is very, very crucial. Between Buddhadeb and Jyoti Basu, we asked the respondents who did they think was a better Chief Minister, and the answers to this question is very interesting. Again, 56% say Jyoti Basu was the better Chief Minister, only 13% rooting for Buddhadeb. Very clear, Swapan, that Bengal hasn't gotten over the mystique of Jyoti Basu. He still hangs above Buddhadeb as the starring image he hasn't been able to overcome.
Well, that's one way of putting it. But I mean, I think Buddhadeb Bhattacharjee would probably, if he was being candid, would say that it was really the legacy of Jyoti Basu which really let him down. Now, for the time Jyoti Basu was in power, the left front concentrated exclusively, all its energies almost exclusively on the betterment of the rural areas, in the belief that that would produce a trickle-down theory into the urban areas, would result in the regeneration of industry, etc. Now, what you instead saw was the complete decimation, decline, and the desertion of whatever little existed within Bengal. And so it was that legacy which Buddhadeb Bhattacharjee unfortunately inherited. He tried to arrest the trend, and the previous election where he won a landslide victory, remember it was one of the most famous victories of the left front, the one which they won in 235. That was based on a sheer optimism, the hope that Buddhadeb would be able to do what Jyoti Basu hadn't been able to do for 25 years.
You know, if I can add to what Shapun said, you must remember that Jyoti Basu has been India's longest serving Chief Minister. He was in power for almost 25 years. Now, Buddhadeb, it should also be remembered, is a good 30 years younger than Jyoti Basu. I mean, he could very well have been his son. The point is, Buddhadeb had this image of being the new left leader, and you know, there was a section of the urban middle classes who were quite enamored, and this got reflected in the media as well. Anandabajar Potrika, which is West Bengal's most widely circulated newspaper, you know, sort of praised brand Buddha to high heaven. I for one felt that was like almost a kiss of death, because after what happened thereafter, what happened at Shingur with the Tata Motors, what happened at Nondigram, after that all the apologies, and he's still apologizing, will not make a difference. He's almost like a tragic King Lear-like character waiting for the 13th of May. Because at the end of the day, Buddhadeb's attempts may have been laudable, but the way he went about was just made the CPM even more unpopular. Remember that on the day 5 years ago, on the 11th of May 2006, when the results were announced, when the left front got this huge 235 out of 294, when the left front for the first time got over 50% of the vote share, or that was the same day that Buddhadeb Bhattacharjee announced very grandly that the Tatas were going to come to Bengal. And at the end of the day, willy-nilly, that was proved to be his Achilles heel.
Okay.